Good morning, everyone, and happy Friday. I love Fridays, not because the week is over, but just because it seems like the 5 days bring something into flow and it just feels good. So, whether Friday is a bookend for you or it's your Monday, make it what you can. So here's something that I've been talking to friends about. I've even been taking some courses and some training. So I just want to give you a little bit of thought processes for today so that you can see if this is an area that interests you. So online networking. Now, a lot of us talk about the word socialize. But when we're online networking, are we just kind of scanning where people are and go, oh, that's a good prospect, that's a good prospect, and then we start spamming them with our information? Or do we assume somebody has a problem, therefore I'm going to throw them the solution right now in a post? Online networking is new. It's a new skill that we all need. And I'm evolving mine. I'm someone who, since the age of 10, could walk into a room, talk to grandparents, talk to kids, talk to adults, and never feel intimidated. I could always find something to make them laugh. So conversation in person has never been a challenge for me. And in fact, it's my adventure to go in and talk to the crotchetiest old person in the room and make them feel good. But how do you know all these things that you sense when you're there at a party and you're in person, or you're in a meeting and you can just read the vibes and you can figure out how you want to play? It's like I used to do a lot of whitewater river rafting, and we'd get out, we'd pull those rafts over to the side, and we would read the water. We would look at the rapids, and we'd decide, how are we going to get through those boulders and that log that's over there? How are we going to do that? Well, a lot of that, when we're with new people or we are networking, we have those skills to read the waters. But now we're online networking. We have to be a little more savvy, because we may only have one or two moments to connect in a message or in a post or in a comment so that that person wants to engage the next step with us. Now, there are a lot of processes on this, but first, in order to change and improve your results, you want to have the thought processes in place. So let me give you an example. If you were a matchmaker and you had two friends that you wanted to introduce, and they're both athletes, but one plays tennis and the other one is a rock climber, don't you think they would be able to have a conversation with one another about the challenges and the adventures in their lives? But maybe they don't. What if the mountain climber says to the female tennis player, says, "Oh, I see you play tennis." She goes, "Yes." She's waiting for the next question, and it's not forthcoming. So then, to take the awkwardness out of the situation, she says, "You're a mountain climber." And he goes, "Yes. It's a tough sport." Implying maybe that it's tougher than tennis, implying that he doesn't know how to talk to her. Who knows what's going on? But it kind of dies, because what they don't have is they don't have some of those curiosities about rules of engagement. You just have to ask a question. So, what are the questions that are available? Well, what interested you in tennis? How did you get excited about tennis? I hear you compete all the time. Or what should she say about mountain climbing? What has been your scariest moment mountain climbing? Do you think you can engage in a conversation off of those? All you have to do is to get somebody telling you one story, and then you have to listen, and then you can engage. So how do you do that online? Well, I'm working with people on a daily basis to help them do that. And then I personally like to engage most with solo practitioners, massage and Reiki and energy work, and then fitness trainers, because I want to help them grow their business. And it's been a little tough for a year. So I have a lot of friends in those industries. And so I have to learn something about them in order to have these conversations. So I might need to go up to them and say, what has been your biggest challenge with COVID? I know you couldn't have people in, but how did you manage what you did get to do? Well, then they share. And then I might say, have you found your referrals with your existing clients have improved? And if so, how? So what did they do? I'm curious. People got very, very creative last year, and I want to know how they got creative. And do I have something to add into their solutions? Maybe, maybe not, but I won't know if I don't listen to them. So here's some simple steps to take. Here's some thoughts on if you were in a position online, in a phone call, in a Zoom meeting, wherever, and there's a moment in which you can just engage and discover. Imagine you are in a call with a bunch of docs. And for some reason, everybody's drinking coffee and there's 20 minutes to chat in side rooms. Well, what are the conversations you have? What do? Do you just go up and say, what's your specialty? You might, but what's your follow-up question so that you don't stand there like that tennis player and the mountain climber? Maybe you just say, oh, are you affiliated with any facilities here in town? Or what's the current environment doing for you with all of this? If you're that specialty, how does this environment affect you? Who knows? But what's the purpose here? The purpose is to get them talking, them engaging. And if you're someone who is a problem solver, you might hear what their problems are or their points of friction are that they need to get solved. Good morning, everyone who's online. Thank you for watching. And so let's think about this. Some people call this the hot button. Find their hot button so that you can solve it. Well, maybe now is not the time to have the conversation, but I'm going to recommend that you take some notes down. But here's the deal. No matter the environment you're in, you want to feel them to feel like you are part of their environment. So you get there by asking the questions. So I have some cute examples here that maybe will help make the point. So all of you know someone at some point in time that's been in some school play or acting or whatever. And I think it's been commonly known in public for many, many years that you don't tell an actor going on stage for a first night performance, you don't tell them good luck. That's like wishing them bad luck. But you do say break a leg, and you're going to get a smile if you do that. Doesn't make common sense, but it's what's accepted in that industry. So if you're hanging with actors, be sure to get your language right. If you are you're at a marathon, well, let's say that you do not say break a leg to a marathon runner. But what do you see? I hope you have your personal best today. That's what you want to say to that marathon runner. So, you've got to engage in a number of conversations here, and you have to turn your brain around. You have to connect the dot to the person that you're with so that you have a beginning of a conversation, a beginning of a relationship. So it's not always easily done, but I do have some things that I coach people on, and this is just a teaser today to get you thinking. Where are you awkward? What do you need help with? I can still be awkward, so I love to get some coaching also myself. So let me tell you one last one. I had a friend once that got lost, and she stopped at a fire station, and the guys are there, and she's asking them how to get to out to Highway 50. And they kind of looked at her like, this should be obvious, lady. This is a really small town. But that's okay. They helped her anyway. But she knew enough about firefighters that because they all work shifts, they never really see each other unless there's what? A fire. So as she's driving away, she says, see you at the next big one. And they knew what she meant. She was in. Now, she wasn't networking that day. She just was lost and needed to get home. But she complimented them because when she looked back and saw them grin, she knew she'd scored a relationship, even though it was a small, momentary relationship, it worked. So if you're uncomfortable with online marketing, I recommend that you message me and I'll share with you a couple of the solutions that I'm using now to get myself tuned up for the new world in 2021. And last year was the new world too, but it's done. But let's get engaged with online networking in a savvy way. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.